And my next thought process was I needed to call her mom immediately.
It was Lori, and she was crying, and she said, "Mom, Sarah's been hurt."
Sarah Scantlin defied medical convention when she woke up after being in a coma-like state for 20 years. Her friends and family had given up all hope, and the doctors had told them that she was lost forever.
We know that after about a year, you've kind of reached a plateau in your recovery process. There are small changes that can sometimes be significant to family members, but they are minimal.
It's a lot like somebody very dear to you dies. It's the day before the funeral, and you never get to go.
Unbelievably, Sarah woke after 20 years.
Hello.
Never before in medical history has someone been in a coma-like state for so long and started speaking again. Laura Shockley was Sarah's best friend. They met at the local high school which they attended together.
I had been friends with Sarah since 6th grade. We immediately hit it off. We became best of friends, almost sisters, if you will.
For the last 20 years, Lori has been visiting her. Until recently, these visits were a cause of great sadness, as Lori was always greeted with silence over the years.
Over the course of the 20 years, I saw very little changes in Sarah. Every time I went to see her, I didn't expect to go in and see anything different. And that's one of the things I had to deal with in my own mind, is this is as good as it gets.
Now that Sarah has woken, Lori's best friend has returned to her.
Hi! How you doing, sugar? Good. Hello. What's new about me today?
You're old.
Am I?
No.
Because that would make you old too, Sarah. That's funny. Sarah. Did you notice I got new glasses?
Yeah.
Do you know why I have new glasses?
No.
Because I'm getting old.
You're alone.
Huh?
You're alone.
Yeah, I am. That's all right. I don't care.
Being in a coma for so many years has dramatically affected Sarah's body, as one can imagine. Her joints have seized, her voice is rather slow, and now she is using muscles that have laid dormant for 2 decades.
To walk in her room and to hear her say, "Hi, Lori." The Sarah that's here and with us today is very much the same Sarah that was with us 20 years ago. She can talk to you, and she can answer you, and she can tell you when she's mad. And if you write her a letter, she'll read every word of it. And those are the things that inspire me.
Who's your best friend?
Yeah.
Who's my best friend?
Me.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
I know you do.
Sarah and Lori had a close friendship that has lasted over 35 years. Sadly, one tragic evening in the autumn of 1984, their lives were changed forever.
I remember looking up and telling myself that it wasn't going to be that bad. She was going to be okay. She was going to be okay. And my next thought process was I needed to call her mom immediately.
Sarah Scantlin has amazed the medical community when, after being in a comatose state for 20 years, has started speaking again. Progress has been slow and a grueling battle for Sarah ever since she started talking again, but one she is fighting with amazing strength.
How you doing? Are you getting your nails done?
Yeah.
You look really, really nice today.
Today is her father's birthday and she's prepared a surprise for him.
Highway. You. Highway. You. Highway. The. Highway. You.
Bless your heart.
Very good.
That's all right. That's all right.
This is the first time he has heard his daughter sing in 22 years.
Happy birthday. I'll tell Mom you sang happy birthday to me, okay?
The financial pressure of looking after Sarah for all these years has left her parents almost bankrupt. The family home was sold years ago, and now they live in a trailer park with the remainder of their possessions and memories of happier times.
There's Sarah in her glory in high school.
Here's your team picture.
Her Farrah Fawcett haircut.
This is my favorite right here. And she was probably 5. We didn't want a picture taken. This was Sarah's 16th birthday.
Those are all the high school pictures.
Her senior dance, our senior prom.
Life was a wonderful thing to her. I never saw her down.
In 1984, Sarah started college. It was the beginning of what was to be her adult life, a life in which she hoped to accomplish so many things.
Sarah's attitude for life was vibrant, and she was funny, and she had many friends. She was always there for everybody.
Early in her first term, Sarah was selected for Dragon Dolls, the college cheerleading squad.
I immediately liked her a lot because she was vivacious, friendly, and outgoing. She was one of those people that just captured your heart. And I could tell that all the other girls liked her as well.
On September the 22nd, some of the girls went out into town to let their hair down and celebrate.
We had gone out to the local bar called Tappers. We were just being college kids and partying and having a good time. As Tappers closed that night, we were walking out to the car, and I was in front of Sarah. The next thing I can recall is me getting pulled down out of the way. And I saw Sarah's body in the air, and knew immediately she'd been hit by a car. And while she was still in the air, another car from the other direction hit her. She lay lifeless in the middle of the road like a rag doll. And my next thought process was I needed to call her mom immediately.
It was Lori, and she was crying. And she said, "Mom, Sarah's been hurt."
Sarah's condition was so serious that she had to be airlifted to a specialist emergency hospital 40 miles away. Sarah is now in her 40s and still believes she's a teenager. She still has the same love of makeup and is just as fond of the color pink as she was all those years ago.
What colours do you like to wear? What eyeshadow colour do you like?
Pink.
Pink, yeah.
Is that color all right for your blush?
Yeah.
Patients who have woken up from long-term comas often have a distorted view of time.
Tell me your date of birth and the year.
May 2nd.
May 2nd, which year?
66.
1966.
Yeah.
Tell me how old you are.
90.
Is that 19?
Yeah.
I don't think she really grasped the time thing. I think that in this 20 years seems like yesterday to her. She just looks in question like, how is this possible that you have 4 children? And you can tell there's a question there in her mind that she just can't quite put it together.
The idea that someone suddenly wakes up from a coma and is normal again is only what you see in television dramas. You have your old memories from many years ago that are ingrained in your head, but the recent new learning tends to be a struggle.
Since she woke up, Sarah has stunned everybody by describing her experiences during that 20 years in which she lay in a coma.
Are you all fixed up now? Ooh, you look nice. How could you hear? How was your hearing?
But you forget.
But you couldn't see as well.
No.
Yeah.
Sarah also claims to remember events that happened during that period.
Do you remember about what somebody says 9/11? What's that mean?
It was a bad deal.
It was a bad deal. What hit those buildings?
Plane.
A plane, exactly. What did it do to a lot of people? Yeah, killed them, that's right.
Centered around this apparent level of awareness, doctors now believe that Sarah was in what is called minimally conscious state, or MCS.
The minimally conscious state is a state in which there is some early evidence of recovery, some attempt to communicate on the patient's part, some evidence of purposeful action.
Clearly there was a lot of sensory intake coming in. She just wasn't able to express outwardly what was going on.
MCS is a condition there was no name for when Sarah first fell into a coma. This finding of a new prognosis was controversial and raised a shadow of a doubt that patients like Sarah have been written off too quickly.
Can you imagine having a high level or a level of awareness and not being able to express it? I said, to me, it would be like being, you remember when you was a kid and you'd have a nightmare and you couldn't quite get out of it?
After all these years in a sleep-like state, Sarah's awakening was not one of a fairy tale ending. She still suffers the side effects of her terrible injuries. But her will to overcome these challenges is a remarkable one, and we can all take some inspiration from her fighting spirit.